Hello trader, this is an updated multiple time frame analysis on USDJPY and GBPJPY as after the market open. As expected, both of these instruments currently started to trend again to the major direction. So before we look at potential entry, starting with dollar yen to see where the market is heading at the moment. So looking at monthly perspective here on dollar yen, we can see that from the monthly, it is long-term bullish market structure. Now, dollar yen price action, if we look at the historical perspective, starting from here during the pandemic, we saw that there was a significant breakout, and that is where the market from this historically bear market to shifted to a historically bull market. And later we saw that throughout the year, dollar yen was quite a few times there was a breakdown, but every time the market was breaking down on the monthly, again bouncing back to create a new higher high. So we saw that there was a breakdown here, and the market has created a new high. Followed by we saw there was another breakdown here. The market now in another impulse back again to the upside, and as this is the starting of this breakdown on dollar yen, we can see the market now in a trend. And what I think now, the market may try to break this high here to create a potentially new higher high, as this is the impulse back below and trending again back above, means that we could see now potentially to break that high to create a new higher high in this market. Now, looking at the weekly perspective here on dollar yen, we can see that from the weekly, this is the weekly price action where there is a series of higher low, and every week the market is maintaining this series of higher low. And the past weekly close that we can see with the long week at the top here on dollar yen, and has given a stronger momentum for this market. And as a result, this week we see there was a gap open, and there isn't any much effort from the sellers. Instead, as expected, the market now pushing back up to fill that long weekend potentially to create a new higher high here. Looking at daily, we can see there is a doji on the daily time frame on dollar yen, and that doji might push the price now back above. Now today's market structure, we see that after this market open, the price has started to bounce back here to create a new higher high in this market. So looking at the 4 hour chart here, as we had our previous analysis as well, in the same way, there was an inverted head and shoulder completely broken above from this inverted head and shoulder, and that inverted head and shoulder may potentially continue to rise here back to create a new higher high in this market. So looking at daily and the 4 hour chart, that you can see the market could potentially to remain bullish here to create a new higher high. This is where we are looking at entry for this potential bounce back here to create a new higher high. And I think that dollar yen potentially to bounce back to cross this previous swing high, and this is where we are looking at a long-term swing entry opportunity for this bounce back for this market to create a new higher high. Now looking at GBP JPY, we can see the market also maintaining that similar market structure here on GBP JPY. Looking at daily, we can see that last day of trading week was pretty long week rejection from this support level here on GJ, and that long week, today's market open with initial pullback, and the price has got that bounce back above here in that market to create a new higher high on GBP JPY. Now as this market is maintaining this uptrending market structure here, waiting for this price to pull back. And if we look at the weekly chart also on GBP JPY, potentially beginning a new uptrending market structure here to create a potentially new higher high in that area. If we look at the monthly, we can see the similar way the market is maintaining this uptrending market structure. So that being said, from the intraday, we see there is an inverted head and shoulder pattern formation that might bring the price back above here to create a new higher high in that area. So this is where I'm looking at potential entry on GBPJPY. As soon as you will find suitable entry after price action confirmation, we'll be looking to go long for this potential move to the upside with a high probability trade setup. Traders, I hope that you enjoyed this education and analysis. If you enjoy, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in my next analysis.